This is Dr. John Whitcomb talking about more vitamin D for better sleep. I report here an interesting idea that may be way out there in left field, but bear with me. A lot of us struggle getting more sleep, and there's clear evidence that a good night's sleep is good for your brain, is good for your heart, good for your mood. We all need a good night's sleep. 7 hours minimum. 8 hours is better. Now, I have been telling people that they should not follow guidelines of simply taking 800 units of vitamin D a day because your skin naturally makes 1,000 a minute in the middle of June when you have bright sunshine, if you have skin type 3 and are outside and are able to get out and they're young. But as we get older, we make about 20% of the same amount of vitamin D we made when we were 20. And so it turns out if I look at rather a blood level, you want an optimal blood level. And we know that a blood level of 32 nanograms is the minimum it takes for your immune system to make cathelicidin. So you aren't even protecting your immune system unless you're 32. So that should be a very basement floor. And it appears that about 50 nanograms, in my opinion, at least what I could tell, seem to be about what nature intended, because that's what the great apes have living in their native habitat, and that's what humans get if they're fully sun exposed all the time. And that takes about 5,000 units a day for most folks. But you have to do a blood level to find it. But 5,000 a day is pretty reliable. It takes a year to get up to a level of 50 when you start, so you need a loading dose. So if you haven't taken vitamin D, you very likely need to take 100,000 units as a loading dose, which has been shown to raise your blood level about 14 nanograms. But let's get on to the book called, what was it? The Optimum Dose of Vitamin D by Judson Somerville. Very interesting author. He was struggling with sleep and read about how vitamin D helps mediate the muscle paralysis that comes upon when you sleep. And you can look that up and Google it and read about it, and sure enough, there it is. And so he thought 5,000 wasn't enough, so he took 10,000. Thought he slept a little better. Took 20,000. Thought he slept a little better. Took 30,000. Felt he slept even better yet. In fact, felt like that balanced things out. And he claims that he went on for the next 10 years to treat some 3,000 patients and didn't get one person with toxicity. Now, he required them to get calcium levels, the alleged problem if you take too much vitamin D, and to see if they had any side effects, and he says he didn't get any. And what we do know is when you start at 5,000 units a day, at the very beginning, you'll raise your blood level this much, but another 5,000 will only raise you this much, and another 5,000 will only raise you this much. So once you get up to 120 or 130, your blood level doesn't keep rising above about 150. We do know toxicity starts somewhere around 350, 400. There you can start getting folks feeling nausea and vomiting and having high calcium. And there's some reports of that happening. But do you get it with 30,000 units a day? Is it worth the extra sleep? We do know that vitamin D is a hormone. It's not a vitamin. And actually the amount of toxicity is preciously rare. Should we be followed with blood levels on? Yeah, if you're going to do something like that, you ought to follow with blood levels and find a doctor who's willing. Is it worth an experiment? I'm going to do it right now to myself. I'm currently at the 2-month mark, 30,000 units a day. I'm going to measure my blood level next week sometime. I said at the 2-month mark, so I'm now due. I've had no side effects. I'm sleeping pretty well. I think I'm sleeping a little better. It's happened slowly, and I suspect that goes along with my blood level rising slowly. Inventions and true innovations and breakthrough come from people who are willing to buck the mold and try something different. Should we do it safely? Yeah. Should we test for it? Sure. Find somebody who will help you with it? Yeah, try it. I haven't seen any toxicity myself. This is Dr. John Whitcomb talking about better sleep with 30,000 units of vitamin D. Read Judson Somerville's book. You can get it on your tablet or you can get a hard copy of it. Good, interesting thinker.